only thing we have to fear is beer itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner,
and our fermenter-tainer,
Wayne Baker.
Now today we are on location, somewhere I'm very, very excited to be, because I've had many of their beers before, and they've caused me to do many drunken great things. But we are on location at Weyerbacher in their conference room.
Yes.
So we have, lunchroom, all-purpose room. But we have with us two people who have actually been on the show before in different capacities, sort of. But we have with us
Natalie DeChico, our new... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was...
I have a whole spiel.
Do your spiel.
Natalie DeChico, New Jersey sales rep for Weyerbacher Brewing Company, ALEiens Homebrew president, and bartender at the Humeville Inn, Philly Beer Geek 2011. Oh, yeah.
Very nice. And...
Drop the mic.
Christian Mosebach, brewer.
Boom.
That kind of really beats all of mine.
Yeah, not necessarily.
No,
You're
pretty
both
much.
important.
Not as important as Christian.
Somebody's got to sell it.
That's true. That's true. Well, we can't thank you guys for enough for having us out here. It's pretty cool to be here, and I'm very excited that we have a whole large spread of beers in front of us on the table.
Yeah, we've got quite a table in front of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
And
We
we've
did
got
a good
pretzels,
job.
too.
Yeah.
The pretzels make you thirsty.
I brought combos.
And combos.
Is that the prize? Is that the prize?
Product placement.
Oh, man. I might have stale pretzels in my bag if you want those.
Oh,
No,
even
there's
better.
perfectly fine pretzels right
I know,
here.
I'm just saying, if we run out of those, I've got backups.
Hashtag pretzel tangent.
Here we go.
Hashtag hers.
What? Anywho.
Hers pretzels.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, so I'm going to make this quick because I'm very excited to be here. I don't have any lists from my favorite blog that I've talked about the past few episodes.
No lists.
So, I know, believe it or not. But there is an article that comes out of Europe, which I kind of like. So I'm going to pronounce this way wrong, and I'm really sorry, and there's a lot of words in here that I don't know. But
send your emails to info@beerbusterspodcast.com.
yes. The De Have Man Brewery prides itself on its family origins, a classic recipe, and their history of its beer, which has crafted carefully since 1856. But there is change brewing, pun intended, by this article. Note, I didn't write this. I just have to say that. There's change on the horizon. In 2015, its owners hope to open a pipeline of beer beneath the city streets of Bruges.
What?
Yes. According to Xavier Venesti, who is managing director and a member of the fifth generation of the brewing family, we thought it's a crazy idea to do this, but you start thinking about it and you start investigating and talking to other engineers from other businesses, and suddenly it's not such a crazy idea after all.
So is this going to be like beer into your house, like out of your tap? Like you'll have water and then you'll have beer?
You know, if you wouldn't have interrupted me, you would know
sorry.
by now. It's okay, though.
I apologize.
It's fine. The veritable duct of drinks will traverse 2 miles between the brewery and the bottling plant in about 15 minutes, which helps out with the, as I was reading through the article, and there's a lot of boring stuff from here, helps out with the transportation of it overall, so that way it doesn't have to go down cobblestone streets, which then makes the beer rattle, and so the flavor could end up messed up, could be, messes with the carbonation and whatnot, but it's going to have a smooth ride underneath, and in that 15 minutes, basically in an hour, they are then able to carry 600 to 700 cases worth of beer per hour. They hope to open it in 2015, which would be kind of cool. I mean, I know it's what Disney has their secret underground tunnels, but I don't think that really transports beer. So this one is far more important.
Oh, it transports dreams and happiness.
Yes, which is something like that.
I don't want to be
Not
that
as good
line
as beer.
cleaner.
Yeah, it is a small world
Can you
after all.
imagine?
Yeah.
Somehow I think those lines won't get cleaned very often.
Yes. Now, the second bit of news I saw is something that Steph showed me, which I'm very excited about here.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. So we have talked about the Stone Enjoy Buy series. They're launching a new one that's going to be the Stone Enjoy After. And they're starting off with Enjoy After 1031-15 IPA. It's a limited release with availability that is to be determined. So the IPA is going to be spiked with Brett, which is a wild yeast that over time brings out charmingly unpredictable complexities of spice, funk, acidity, and more. The operative words in the beer selling thesis are over time. For those who are impatient and don't want to wait to experiment with it, The earliest they recommend sampling the beer is Halloween of this year, 10/31/14. It won't be fully carbonated until then, and then aging it will just help those flavors come out a
Wait,
little
I
bit
thought
more.
it was enjoy by 10/31/15.
No, it was enjoyed by.
Or enjoy after.
Enjoy after,
After.
but the earliest they recommend, if you're impatient and don't want to wait for next year, you can
Don't
open
buy it
Halloween
then.
of this.
Right,
Exactly,
but then
that
it's not
defeats the
gonna
purpose.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Be it where they
yeah, it's like
want it to
drinking
be.
the Enjoy by a week after.
Right.
But it's
Or
going
a
to be
year after.
or a year
Yeah.
after in that case. Yeah, it's going to be 7% ABV. It's going to be available in 750 milliliter bottles, and their tips for cellaring. They recommend aging until obviously 10/31/15, but keep cool between 50 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're in Celsius, I feel bad for you, and keep out of direct sunlight.
Thank you, Stone, for telling us.
Yes, thank you.
They are
Stone,
marketing
indeed.
geniuses. Just
They
saying.
are.
They
Yes.
will do anything to get you to just keep buying their beers.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I
It's
just picked up
working.
the new mocha stout with the chilies.
Ooh.
It starts with an X. I can't pronounce it. I forget what it's called. But
One of
I'm
those.
excited.
Cool.
If it has chilies in it, you know I'll buy it.
Yes, of course.
So that's why you love. So you had a really good time down at Naked with all the jalapeno and chili
yeah.
and
Jalapeno
yes.
business.
Jess is my girl.
That jalapeno beer was awesome. So now that we have those short little news blurbs that are out there, as we mentioned earlier, we're on location at Weyerbacher, and we have Natalie and Kristen here with us, and we're very excited to be here. And the beers are they're screaming at me in a good way. They want me to drink them all. It was a huge spread of beers that I'm sure we're going to get to, but now we want to get to know you guys again. So you guys were on before. Natalie, of course, you were with Weyerbacher then, but we met with you at the I'm still going to say it wrong. Humeville. Hume. Okay. Humeville Inn before an ALEiens meeting. Christian, you were on when you were with Golden Avalanche.
Correct.
And it was snowing that day.
It was snowing that day.
yes.
In fact, that day, the Golden Avalanche growler you brought, that was my first growler I ever owned.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for
Wow.
that. You started...
You broke his growler cherry.
yes.
Put it to good use.
Yeah. Oh, it's sitting on a shelf in proud display.
Okay.
I haven't got any growlers filled in a while, so don't worry.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But even so, I'm so far away from Golden Avalanche. But we're here at Weyerbacher anyway, so that's a different story for
Let's talk about the brewery we're at.
Yes.
That's okay. We're all friends.
Yeah. So I when I found out we were going to be recording here, I looked up where you guys were located, and I knew Easton was an area, but I didn't know it was right before the New York border. So that kind of
Or
got me.
New Jersey
New
border?
Jersey? Is it Jersey?
Yeah, it's like right on the edge.
That's Jersey.
That's
New York's
Jersey?
Further north.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw signs for New York City, and then I saw last exit in PA. That's all I got.
Oh, you came out on
okay.
78.
Yeah,
Right.
I did,
So
yep.
Yep.
No, we border New Jersey. We're directly across the Delaware River from Phillipsburg, New Jersey.
Okay. I just got a geography lesson. All right.
New York would be north.
Jersey is east. Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of New Jersey,
You know,
you're the
Philly
New Jersey.
people, you got to take them out of Philly, and they're like,
I really don't know anything
I don't know
outside
where I
Philly.
am.
Easton. Where's that in Eastern PA? No, Easton. And then you get to Eastern, it's really just a clusterfuck.
Exactly. But now you guys are. I didn't get the VIP tour because I showed up a little bit late. But now, how the facility that you guys have here? How big is that?
Well, this building, I think, is somewhere maybe 15 to 20,000 square feet. But we also have one or two other buildings for storage purposes. So that'll add at least another 10, probably.
Cool.
Yeah, you missed the VIP tour, but it's funny because from the outside you wouldn't think this place is as big
And
as
I'm
it
not
is.
sure if you guys saw the other buildings. You're not missing much in there, but
Right.
Oh, we
That-
saw the other building.
Oh, yeah. All right.
We were on an unsuccessful mission.
Yeah.
We were
Okay.
looking
But
for this year's reserve.
We did, yeah.
We did not find
you
it.
didn't find it, yeah. But we wandered, all different, and it's like there's more space here. There's more. Oh, there's stuff over here. It's like a TARDIS. It's bigger on the
Yep.
inside.
Oh,
It's-
yep.
it's-
We didn't see the warm room, but we saw the storage room over there.
Okay.
Didn't see the warm room. Saw the new space where the new brew house is going to be.
Yep.
Showed them that. So
Yep.
So aside from the size of the building, what's the size of this system?
That was my next question.
Well, right now we have a hybrid system. We have a 20-barrel mash tun, 20-barrel lauter tun, 20-barrel wort receiver, a 40-barrel boil kettle, and a 40-barrel whirlpool.
Nice. That's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Now I know we also saw an area. I'm sorry, Dan. I don't mean to, but I was on the VIP tour and you weren't.
I know you are far more VIP than I.
Where some new equipment is going in. We saw an area where there's some work being done. So what's being added in there?
That will be our new brew house.
Okay.
That will be 40 barrels all around. It'll make life so much easier for us. Because right now it's 2 to 3 mashes per 40 barrels, and most of our tanks are 80 barrels, so you could have 6 mashes to fill 1 tank.
Right.
With our new system, it's 2 mashes.
Right.
So it's a lot more efficient. It's going to save us time, malt. It's going to be great.
How many brews do you guys do in a day?
We do about 2 to 3, depending on the season. Typically 3 40-barrel batches, so about 120 barrels a day, 5 days a week.
That's a lot of beer.
It really is.
And so when is that expected to be up and running then?
We are shooting for mid-November.
Soon.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
I'm getting
crossed.
air quotes on the soon.
Yeah.
Not soon enough.
Not soon
Not
enough.
soon enough.
But sooner than later. Things are all of our permits are good to go, so things will be moving quickly now.
Very
Very
cool.
nice.
So, Natalie, the last time you were on the show was episode 20, and now it's episode 40.
Woo, congrats to you guys.
Oh, thanks.
You only come in multiples of 20, apparently. So,
Yes.
what's been new?
So in 6 more months, I will see you again.
What's new with the Weyerbacher beer rep world, and what's going on in New Jersey since we've seen you last?
Well, it's winter
Which
ale
is to
season
the east.
because
For anybody
Which is
who's
to the
which is
east.
to the
confused.
east. Well, it's winter ale season since obviously it's just turned to fall. No, we're smack dab in the middle of pumpkin ale season, even though we've been selling it since the summer. But you know, all the pumpkin events, beer fests, everything surrounding Oktoberfest. It's really just in full swing right now. A lot of beer dinners and tap takeovers featuring 20 different pumpkins, you know, people doing things like that. A lot of German-themed beer dinners, which is always delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, you know, just really working on things like that right now with Weyerbacher. We've had a lot of small batch releases come out recently and coming out in the next week or two. So that's really fun to use at events. So we're going to taste a couple of those tonight. Again, things that are nice to introduce into New Jersey. What else did we have? But yeah, just kind of playing around with the fall seasonals and then some of the one-offs, which get people more excited. This is Weyerbacher season. After September is when we really start to pick up in terms of sales. You know, it's after the summer. We brew a lot of higher alcohol beers, so people are out there. They're really starting to pick up the Merry Monks again, even though it's year-round. Everyone's like, oh, I love this seasonal. I'm like, it's year-round. But, yeah, sure, buy it, please. You know, inform them it's year-round. But they're still like, oh, I'm only going to drink in the fall and Christmas. It's like, okay. Or holiday season. So Merry Monks picks up, Blithering Idiot. So everything, you know, Double Simcoe really just starts trucking along. So I like this time of year.
Yeah.
They are great fall,
Weyerbacher
cold
is
weather
very good.
beers,
Yes.
definitely.
Cold weather beers, absolutely.
You know,
And you could drink a Munkin.
you can drink a
Munkin.
and-
A Munkin.
Monk.
M-O-N-K.
M-O-N-K-I-N.
Yes, which is a half Merry Monks, half Imperial pumpkin.
Yes.
So a take on...
And 100% delicious.
Yes, I had that before we started recording, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was very
Yay.
good.
Speaking of that Imperial Pumpkin, I saw something you posted on your Facebook that Imperial Pumpkin was featured as one of the 10 best pumpkin beers on the planet from menshealth.com.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Congratulations to
Number
you guys. Number 2,
two,
in
also.
fact. Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
congratulations to you guys indeed.
Oh, thank you.
So we have local royalty, more or less, in the beer world for pumpkin, which is really cool. And you guys, there's other beers on there. There's Pumpkin is on there, Rogue is on there, and a few others. And that's no small achievement. So
No.
congratulations,
It was
guys.
really nice, yeah.
And given the number of pumpkin beers and
Well,
how
yeah.
it
I know.
exponentially increases
Everybody
every
does
year.
one,
it's
so
just-
yeah.
Yeah, you go to the liquor
a
store
crowded
as
field.
well. In Jersey, you go to the liquor stores. In PA, you would be going to the beer distributors and stores and everything. And there's just so many pumpkins every year. I feel like it doubles. So to still
Yeah.
be a standout pumpkin, to still have people pick us up year round, it's really nice. So accolades to the brewer.
That's right. So, Christian, what does it smell like in here when you brewed pumpkin back in June?
Yes.
April. Yeah, it's as soon as you put those spices in at the end of the boil, it just smelled like pumpkin pie cookies.
Nice.
Oh.
And how hot was it outside? when you were-
100 degrees.
Yeah, sometimes on the brew deck it would 100, 110 up there.
Hard to feel that nice crisp fall air when
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like that.
I think I'd resent those aromas when it was 100-some degrees out. I'd be like,
Yeah.
seriously?
In the heat of July.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys don't drink the pumpkin, right? You don't like it? Is it?
Brewers
It's a very good pumpkin beer.
But you.
I do not enjoy the pumpkin ale style.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of brewers, I think, have a love-hate relationship with pumpkin beers.
Right. I kind of tell everyone when
Yeah.
I'm out there, as a joke. I'm like, oh, they brew so much. They go home in the middle of summer. They smell like pumpkin. And they go home and everyone's like, oh, you smell so great. And it's like, shut up. I don't want to smell like a Yankee Candle for 4 months out of the year. So it's like, they don't really
It does smell
love
nice,
our pumpkin.
I will say, when we first pulled up in the lot here, when we first got here and got out of the car, you could smell the smell of the spent grain in the air, and it was like, ooh, very nice. So you guys brew, like, pretty much almost all the time, right? I mean, you're, like, constantly...
Yeah, I mean, we brew to keep up with demand, so we are out of pumpkin season, but things, we thought we'd get a little slow down, but now we have to prepare for winter ale, we have to make quad.
Winter is coming.
The quad.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
We have to brew more Blithering Idiot, and Blithering Idiot also for Insanity, because that needs to be aged in barrels for, when does that come out, January?
January.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Tiny, again, everything really starts to pick up too. The bigger beers, which take
Yep.
more time for you guys.
Yep.
Double mashing, or
A triple mashing.
triple for Tiny and Blithering Idiot. Triple
Yeah.
mashing.
Yeah.
So, 2 beers that, for flying the beer. 2 beers that take a lot of time for you guys, just really trying
Yeah.
to keep up with that schedule.
Yeah, and we also have our Brewer Reserve beers. We got one of them coming out. We're brewing one of them pretty soon.
Cassiopeia.
Tango's coming up.
Yes. Reserva should be out soon.
Reserva will be out pretty soon. Yeah.
Are you ever going to brew sour black again?
I don't know.
It's so good. It's like my favorite beer ever.
We have something
I
called...
should have told me. I have a couple bottles at home.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's some bottles over there, but you can't
So
get
we
them.
couldn't reach
They're
them.
locked away.
Steph's pointing at Dan Weyerbacher's hidden cellar in the back left corner that no one can squeeze through.
That's
get
private
to.
reserve.
That's why the cases are packed in
gotta
there so
bribe
tightly by
somebody.
Brandon. Yes.
I still say if we had a grappling hook, we could have gone up over.
Yeah.
We
Batman
could have made it.
We could
If
have Batman
Austin
that
was
shit.
here, actually, any of you guys can really monkey over those cases and kegs
Yeah.
pretty easily.
Now it's
We're
all
pretty
recorded,
nimble around
so
here.
there's proof. We can't get away with it.
Yeah.
We didn't take anything.
We
By the time-
didn't really try. We didn't put much effort in.
By the
did
time
it.
this airs, it'll already be long gone, and it'll.
If there's anything missing, Natalie took it.
It was all her idea.
Yes, it was my idea. But I can't climb over those, so I cannot say I actually got my hands on it to take it. I do have a couple sours out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure
working.
what's being released where for Pariah, but I think that what was that? Merry Monks. That was
Mary Monk's in oak barrels
in
with...
oak barrels with Brett and Lecto.
Was there fruit in that one or no?
No,
Okay. So, was that entered at GABF?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Are
So-
you both going?
No, neither.
Nope. Neither of us are going.
No, we're sending out... who's going? Bob, Sean, Gary... Well, Sean, that's one person. Gary, Bobby...
Bob Fotu, Bobby Clark, Sean Ferrero, Scott Bixler.
Scott, that's right. Okay.
How many beers did you enter this year?
Ooh.
A lot.
All of them.
They had a different system this year. That way everyone could get in and enter their beers into GABF. So before there was always the time frame in the window slot, and some people would miss out and not get to enter beers or not to get to showcase. So I think they allowed almost not everyone to enter, but a larger amount, and then based it off of how many people entered, how many beers you got to enter, how many breweries signed up, and then they determined how many beers each brewery
Sounds like
could
a very
enter.
Complicated
So-
algorithm.
Yes, but it actually makes more sense because even
Right.
if you can only enter 4, at least you got to enter 4 to be judged, as opposed to if you just missed the
Missed
2
the
hour.
cutoff, and
Right.
somebody else has 10 or whatever.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Several.
Several.
Numerous.
We'll say several.
Numerous.
Probably more than 2 and less than 12.
Definitely less than 12.
Definitely
Okay,
less
there
than
we
half.
go.
The cutoff used to be 8, I think. When
Yeah.
you, so
I think it was 8, yeah.
Yeah. So
Less
more
than
than
8.
2, less than 8.
Yes.
Somewhere around there. All right.
probably Pariah, Monks, Tiny, Reserva. Pumpkin usually goes in. Tart
Pumpkin.
Nouveau, I know, went in.
Tart Nouveau went in.
Which we'll try later.
We will try that later.
So
Should we try some beers now?
we should.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
So we have kind of an interesting system here.
I thought it worked. I thought that was successful.
We're packed away in a back room that's kind of far from the actual tasting room, and we couldn't find any pitchers, so we just brought pint glasses, 2 pint glasses
Oh, come
apiece
on, you have to do it again.
of each beer, and we have
Gotta get
little
pictures
sample
of it.
cups. So Natalie is now dipping the sample cups into the pint glasses to fill them with beer, which is actually, I think, a pretty clever plan.
For the first one, because they were too full.
Right. And it also looks kind of funny, and Steph's taking pictures, so you'll probably see those on the internet.
On the internet.
On the internet. And we are starting with...
Autumn Fest.
Autumn Fest.
It is our Oktoberfest style ale at 5.4%, so not your traditional lager, but fermented with an American ale yeast, our house strain.
At cooler temperatures.
At cooler temperatures, thank you.
Apparently I didn't do that right. Oh, wait.
It's our third lowest ABV beer, now that Tart Nouveau's out.
So what's the lowest then? Is it Tart?
Tart Nouveau
Okay.
at 3.9%.
3.9. We'll be
White
tasting
Sun
that one.
is 4.6. Autumn Fest 5.4. Winter 5.6.
How long does it take you to memorize those facts?
Not long. I mean, I already knew in the brewery beforehand, so then it was
I don't
just
even know them.
added
So.
information. Okay. Well, once you repeat it about 100 times in one night,
You don't have to say it when you're making
within
the beer.
your
You have to say it
first
when
week
you're
of
selling
the
beer,
brewery,
yeah.
then 4 years later, over 130 tastings a year, and then how many people you talk to in one night. I mean, if I just had a pull string, I really just should record it and
then
kind
just
of
play
figure
it
out
back.
voice box it. It'd be so much easier.
It actually sounds more complicated than just memorizing it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So how many beers does Weyerbacher make? Speaking of.
Can you come back to that while I count on my hands?
Sure.
Okay.
She's actually doing it for anybody who doesn't believe it.
Yeah, she's doing it under the table.
Anyway, so about
I
the beer that
really
we have in our
love this
hands.
beer.
Yeah.
In the meantime, this is a great beer.
It's super
It's
drinkable.
easy drinking, yeah.
It's one that I can just keep drinking over and over again, which are the beers I'm in love with right now.
And it's really nice to have, as cool as pumpkin beers are, and there's a lot of pumpkin beers I like, it's nice to have an autumn seasonal that's not a pumpkin beer, but it's still very appropriate for the season.
I love that it's an Oktoberfest beer, but it's a little more complex than an Oktoberfest
It is, and
beer.
it has a
Lots
almost
of nice roasty characters.
I want to say like a cider or like tea kind of flavor into it.
Sure.
I'm getting at it.
There's like an extra kind of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. I say maybe a little smoother malt sweetness to it. And
Yeah.
I think we get some bit more floral hops. 17 beers. That includes our
17.
7-year rounds, numerous seasonals, not including any one-off beers or any of the 750 one-offs that we make. So not including, it includes Reserva, but not Tango or Althea
Or Rum Shaker.
or Rum Shaker or Veritas Lupulus or anything like that.
Right.
I did include Reserva because that's on our sales sheet.
Well,
we
We,
make,
we make that every year, so.
Rum shaker?
Rum Shaker.
Rum
It's
Shaker.
a rum barrel-aged beer
Okay.
that we brew.
Is that supposed to sound like rum spriga, or is that just...
No, it's supposed to be like rump, like a butt.
Shaker.
Rum Shaker.
That's funnier. Okay.
It's so
Shake your rum.
good. So good.
Rum shaka. Shakalaka. It was very good.
Okay, now list the ABVs of all the beers from
Okay.
lowest to highest in order.
Wait, this isn't game
4.6, 5.4, 5.6, 2 5.9s,
This is why she was Philly Beer Geek, people.
8,
Yeah.
Yeah,
8,
really.
She can just memorize everything.
9.3, 11.1, 11.1. Oh, another 8 for heresy because that's a burn barrel aged old heathen. So 3 8s, 2 11.1s, an 11.8. Oh, and then there's Sunday morning stout too. So 2 11.8s.
Oh, so
Reserva
good.
changes every year.
We had that at Beer Camp.
There you go.
Yes, Beer Camp was great this year.
Beer Camp was awesome.
I met Vinny from Russian River.
Yes.
I heard
Vinny
Ken
was
Grossman
there,
was there.
Ken was
I
there.
didn't see him. And
I got my picture with Ken.
there was someone else that was there. That was. I mean, I didn't realize that all the breweries that Sierra Nevada brewed with brought either their brewers or their owners there that day, which was really cool. I just thought Vinny was like, "Oh, Philly, I'll come hang out."
Yeah.
But no, everyone was there. So once they let everyone in and people started running, I was like, "Oh, I have to get back to my table, or else I would have spent more time hunting down people."
Yeah,
But-
stalking all of them.
Exactly. I just would have stalked all day. So instead, I looked at your pictures. I was like, "Oh, I met him by association."
So how was the reception for Weyerbacher at Beer Camp?
We kicked both kegs within 2.5 hours.
Yeah, you
So
were one of the first
it
tables
was
done.
Yes, it was great.
That's
and you
awesome.
but you had a great spot too. You were right at the end of the
Right
tent.
at the end of the tent, and there are 2 beers that we poured Tart Nouveau and Sunday Morning Stout. So 2 beers that we only released for Philly Beer Week at that point, and just a smattering, like in Jersey, splattering, shattering.
Shatnering.
Wait, so,
Were you?
Yeah, it was like that.
Yes. So just beers that we've released a little bit of. So people were really excited to see them again. That we had, one a 3.9% beer, and then the other was an 11.8% beer on completely different ends. So, people are always excited to try something new. So we actually had something new to offer them. So
and
we
now,
did really well.
Wait a minute. You said you had to hurry back to your stand, but every time I passed by, your dad was doing all the pouring.
What's up with that?
And you were socializing.
Okay. My dad loves pouring at Beer Fest. It's not because I just talk all the time at Beer Fest. Though if I bring a friend like Jen here to a Beer Fest, she comes to AC Beer Fest, they know if you're coming to a Beer Fest with me, you're pouring and I'm talking to people. But my dad doesn't mind that. He enjoys going to the Beer Fests and pouring and talking to the people. So I get to, socialize and see all, my accounts and friends that are there. More accounts, not so many friends. I call them my friends. But yeah, so my dad was pouring. He loves it. Him and I homebrewed together, so he came to the Battleship Fest with me too. So just a lot of fun. He enjoys it. And he was pouring with Christina, who's our media girl now, and then our PA rep Bobby Clark was there. So we had a good turnout for employees that day.
Very
3
cool.
of us at one fest.
Oh, man.
People were like,
Wow.
what is going on?
They do work.
Yeah. Well, now you're starting to sound like someone that works in the brewery. Instead of people that work in the brewery. Oh, you sales reps. What time did you wake up today?
Do
2.
something. All you do is drink beer and talk to people all day.
Seriously, you
Like,
just go on like
come
these
on.
podcasts
I
and
know,
get to
right?
hang out and drink all night.
Did you really wake up at
Drink
2?
all the time.
Yeah.
Why is that like a real thing? You wake up at 2?
No, that's what they say.
Oh, okay.
Dan was
I
gonna
got-
have a
I was-
career
He's
change.
like, I want to be a beer rep.
No,
In a heartbeat.
absolutely not. We do not wake up at 2.
1:30.
She's
No,
not
they
even.
got to get up.
No, we have to get up and see accounts on the road before we go to events, and then you have to drive yourself home for an hour and a half, so you're not really drinking, during your events. So, no. It's still enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, but
But it's a lot of work.
But you'd rather be drinking it.
It's not as much work as brewing the beer.
True.
it's not as much manual labor. No, absolutely not.
Which is where Christian comes into play.
Exactly.
Yes.
Chloe's sitting over there stroking your beard. Which the beard has grown quite
Yeah, it's
significantly
getting
since last
quite
time
nice,
we saw you.
I have to say.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Actually, the last podcast,
You just had a... Didn't you have the...
I had the mustache
Yeah.
from November.
Right.
That's right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
coming up. That's coming up.
Yeah. But yeah, had the mustache, and right before, a couple days before I came on was the last time I shaved.
Ah!
Oh, really?
All right.
Oh, wow.
So if you notice in the pictures, I had little 2-3 days scruff going on with the
Right.
mustache, and now we're
Now you've got the full brewer's
10
beard.
Wow.
10 months later, 11 months
22
later.
episodes later. So how do you maintain it? I mean, it looks pretty nice for not have been shaved since then. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what question to ask.
Wow.
Let's talk about your beard for 10 minutes.
Well, I'm curious.
Oh, wow.
I don't have a beard. Jen is
You got
loving
to
What does it feel like to have hair
We can
growing
cut
out
this.
of your
We
face?
can cut this part out, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, it takes
This could
beard
be a nice
busters.
outcast. Outcast.
You know who you should talk to?
It takes a little work
Hey,
to not look homeless.
outtake.
You should talk to Matt Vargin. He wrote a whole article about
Oh, did he?
about facial hair care.
Yeah, you did.
What's your shaving regimen?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you got to.
Do you lather first?
No,
His shaving regimen is not.
Right.
I mean,
just don't do it.
do you shampoo the beard? Is that
Yeah.
like
Do you
a-
brush it?
I brush it, condition, beard oil.
Do you have those little accoutrements that you put
He
over
makes
the
his own
glass
beard
to keep
oil.
from the hair
I
getting-
do make my own beard oil.
Oh, that's sweet.
Really? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Do you count how many times you comb?
Marsh. Marsh.
Get a nice boar's head brush.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
works out well.
Okay, sorry. Transition us back in. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hi, and welcome to Beard Busters.
Exactly. Oh, man. There's more beer that's calling us. What do we have up next? Is it Althea? Is that up next?
No.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is. It is on the
Oh.
list. It's just not out here. Christian's going to get it from
Oh.
the refrigerator.
Ah,
My
okay.
apologies. It just wasn't in front of us.
You
so
goddamn sales
I was
reps.
like a man and didn't look.
Oh.
Wow.
You want to bring out the
Wow.
sales reps? I'll just bring out the
We
man
just
comments.
we're one beer into the tasting segment, and the insults are already flying.
He used sales rep as first. He insulted the sales rep wake up time, which is one thing.
No, I think he was jealous.
Jealous of the wake up time. I haven't gotten to sleep past
He
8:30
was
in like a
dumbstruck
year.
with envy.
No, I wake up before then. Sometimes. So yes, now we're on
want
to
the sound.
Althea.
Do it. Yeah, there we go.
Which you will hear.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Beautiful. Now, this we've actually tasted on the show.
I thought so.
The last time
But
we
we
had
didn't
Natalie
taste
on.
it with
Did
Natalie.
We
we?
didn't taste it in your presence. We
No, we
tasted it
tasted
back
it
at our
at the
studio.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And then stuck it on the end of the
And
episode.
that was last year's batch.
And this is
Now
a new
this
batch?
this year's
Ooh.
batch.
So, just as a recap for our listeners, Natalie, if you want to give us the story behind this beer.
So Althea is a Belgian double brewed with plums that we brew to raise money to help defray the costs associated with breast cancer for the Lehigh Valley Health Network Awareness Association in the Lehigh Valley, which is the county that Easton is in. So we brewed this beer last year and raised over $12,000. We donated $1 a bottle, which we'll do again this year, and donated again to the Lehigh Valley Health Network Awareness Association. We also put some beer in kegs this year, so you'll see it out in bars. It'll give people the opportunity to try it on tap, and then they can go pick it up in stores. So this beer is actually my dad and I's homebrew recipe that we brewed 3 Christmases ago at this point. I was approached by Dan Weyerbacher, who came up to me and said, hey, we want to brew a beer for breast cancer awareness for this fund. And since you're one of our female employees, we are wondering, and you homebrew, we were wondering if you had a recipe or could come up with a recipe that we could use. And I said, I already have an idea. I said, we just brewed a Belgian double with plums because it was January at this point that he asked me. So we brew a lot of Belgian beers. I knew we already had the yeast in-house, and we don't brew a Belgian double. So he said, I like it. It's great. They came up with a name Althea, which means healing in Greek. And it has a lovely pink label that was drawn in oil paints by Richardson Conley, who's our artist who does all of our labels. And it has a cherry tree? Rosebud tree? What's in Washington, D.C.? Where they
The cherry
cherry
blossom.
tree.
The cherry blossom tree.
Cherry blossom.
I cannot
Cherry
tell a
blossom
lie.
tree where the wind's blowing it to the right of the label, and you have Althea on
Or
there.
east
and it's
towards
lovely
New
pink.
Jersey.
It is blowing it east towards New Jersey. Now it is, if you face it that way. So it's absolutely a great beer for a great cause, and I actually haven't had it yet. I came up to brew it at the end of September with the guys, one of the 4 batches that we did.
End of August.
End of August. That's what I meant. What did I say, July or September?
September.
One of those months.
So
Last week.
Delicious.
It is, and I really liked this the first time we tried it.
Yeah, me too.
And it's...
Sorry, Jen. I didn't give Jen her beer and she hit me.
you can talk. It doesn't matter. We don't...
I just want to point out that's really cool that she grew up with her dad brewing beer. I mean, how many dads?
That is true.
And they
Daughter
still
had a
brew
brew
together,
beer
which
growing
I
up.
love.
How old were you the first time you brewed with your dad?
8.
That's amazing.
Wow.
He never let me
It's
drink
the
it,
best
though.
father-daughter bonding experience.
I would say
ever.
so. Definitely very enjoyable that I get to brew beer with my dad, a hobby that we continue to do. So, just keep coming up with fun, interesting recipes. And, again, just a nice hobby that we can do together. He does all the grunt work, and I stand there and look at the recipe. It's great. No, yes.
Now, did he get to come to the brewery when Althea was brewed? Has your dad been here when it's been
He
brewed?
has been here a few times, and he did come up this year to Althea, and he got to dump in some of the plums that goes in at the end of the boil before the whirlpool. So we got to dump in the plums together, which was pretty fun. He's standing there. I was like, come on. He kept saying no. I was like, please, I know you want to. So he's like, go in, dump. He dumped in the plums, had some fun, and hung out at the brewery, took some pictures. So he really enjoyed it. I mean, I think also seeing me be able to do something like this with a brewery. I mean, working for a brewery is already super cool to him. And then getting to brew a beer that raises this much money for a local health network charity. Yes. You can cut that out, too.
Edit in the proper terminology.
Got it.
Later.
Sorry, edit. It just makes him even more proud. And we recently had, I believe 2 years ago, one of our friends, my parents' friends, went through breast cancer and had breast cancer, went through it, survived. So it was just really nice that we were doing something that touched him even more. So it's cool. And it was a lot better than the beer we brewed. So it was great. It was like, oh, wow, this is what our recipe should have tasted like.
No. This is what your recipe did taste like.
Absolutely.
It did taste like this. I mean, it was good when we brewed it, don't get me wrong.
It was just a test
wasn't
batch.
great. Exactly.
You
it
hadn't
wasn't
refined it.
great. Right.
Yeah.
We didn't have all the glycol systems, and
Were
we
you
didn't have a plate
were you
chiller
all
at that
grain
point.
then? Were you doing extract?
Nope, it was all grain.
Oh.
It was all grain, but I didn't add that many plums. I just kind of guessed. I only threw in like 8 plums for 5 gallons.
We added a lot of plums.
Yeah.
Added a lot of plums.
Over 2,600 pounds,
Wow.
I
Something
believe
like
it was
that.
last year.
Where'd you get the plums from?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't think we're allowed to ask that question.
A bag. A Mylar bag from brewfruit.com.
Brewfruit.com.
Oregon, I think.
They probably are Oregon. We get a lot of our fruits from Oregon.
It's tough. I mean, the amount of fruit we're using, 2,600 pounds, everyone always asks that question. People do. People always ask, where do you get your pumpkins? Where do you get your fruit? The scale we're brewing on, we just can't go out and pick 10 pumpkins, roast them, peel them, and use them.
Yeah.
You know, we go through over 10 tons of pumpkin when we brew our pumpkin beer. We used 10 tons last year. Maybe we went through more this year. But at that large scale, I mean, it's not like they're oddly grown or whatnot. They come from a farm in the United States that already roasts them, seeds them, purees them for us. So they come to us in a usable manner and a more conservative manner than us having to sort through it all. If it's through all the pipes, if it's through the plate chiller, into the fermenter. So that's kind of how we use all of our fruit. And if you see a lot of your smaller local breweries using fruit from someone's backyard or, you know, their neighboring farm, they can because they're brewing on a much smaller scale batch. Same as homebrewers are able to use, you know, their own pumpkin that they pick. You're not going to grow
2,600 pounds of anything in your
plums,
own backyard.
Exactly.
Those plums tasted pretty good, though.
They did taste delicious. They tasted like a, plum.
Like plums?
Yeah.
Well, kind of tastes like
good.
natural, like fruit roll-up when you get those like bars and whatnot from Trader Joe's. Okay. It was delicious. Did we put any in beer last year? We put some of the plum puree into the Old Heathen and just drank it straight like that. I don't know. We were just kind of licking it off our fingers at the end.
Yeah. When we were...
when we were
opening
done
everything,
opening the bags.
Yeah,
it was really good. Like nice and lightly sweet. Had a dark color to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like they keep all the skins in there too. The way it's pureed. I don't know if you can get too much of a red hue, but it has a nice dark amber color. If anyone's had our double Simcoe, it's not. It's just a touch lighter than that. Really nice, unfiltered, bottle conditioned, all with a Belgian yeast strain.
Do you know off the top of your head how much was donated last year?
$12,000.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome.
Because it was 1,200. No, it was 12,000
bottles. 12,000 bottles. Yeah,
$1 bottle.
$1 per bottle.
Cool.
Has Weyerbacher ever done another beer that was in conjunction with like a charity type drive before?
Well, we have our Last Chance IPA.
Okay.
Every month we actually, I can't read that far, but you have a right behind you a Last Chance donation log, and every month, what is it, $1 a pint?
61,800 so far.
$1 case, $1.25. No, $1.50 a sixtel and $5 a half keg of every beer that leaves the brewery of Last Chance.
And every month, a different employee gets to choose a different animal shelter, no-kill animal shelter, brick and mortar. So we spread that money all around.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The most recent one went to the the Liberty Humane Society in Jersey City. So we donated $2,400 to them, and that was picked by Antoine.
Okay.
That was August, actually, or maybe July. But then I know before that, for my Jersey folk, we donated $3,800 to St. Hubert's, which is in North Branch and Madison. So we've had a lot of recent donations. Center for Animal Welfare in Easton, I believe is the name of it, was another recent donation. So we've raised
right down the street.
Right down the street from the brewery, and we've raised over $61,000 in just over 2.5 years with that beer for animal shelters at this point. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yes, it's been great. So buy more Last Chance, save more puppies. If you don't, it kills dogs.
If you don't drink Last Chance IPA, you are killing
You're killing puppies.
Hashtag I'm only kidding.
Hashtag Brian says. Hashtag I'm only kidding.
And buy Althea too.
Yes. If you don't buy Althea and Last Chance, then, I mean, it just gives you
You're a
another
horrible
reason to
person.
drink. It just gives you another reason to drink, like we all needed one.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And they're two great beers. I've had Last Chance. It's a really good IPA, and the Althea is fantastic.
I'm really enjoying it this year.
Yeah,
Not that I didn't enjoy it this year, but it's just, I guess, a year since I've had it. So, I mean, of course, I brought a case home, but completely drank it all last year, gave it out, and I didn't have any saved, so.
It's so good. I just love the
really
plum
nice.
flavor and the sweetness, but it's very dry at the end. And it's good
So I
stuff.
still get the dryness again from last year, but I think the sweetness is a touch more prominent this year than last year, maybe.
If only you had another bottle to taste them side by side.
Yeah.
You better put a few away this year.
I will.
Compare.
My parents were like, oh, let's give it out to everyone because you brewed it.
Well, it's not as
And we
special
did,
this year.
and then we gave it away.
Because you brewed it, but you brewed it before, so.
Exactly.
You already got your gold star, right?
I did. My name's not even on the emails for this beer anymore. They're like, no.
Didn't we say last year when we talked to you about it that your name should be on the label?
Yes, they didn't do it again.
They didn't put it on
used
your label?
Same
Oh.
label. No, it's okay. I only brewed 1 out of the 4 batches. The brewers'
Fair
names should be on the labels of all the beers. If you just write
proudly
Chris,
brewed
that
them.
covers pretty much
That's
half the employees
half the
here.
people that work
Our
there.
name
So-
Chris, really?
Chris
That's funny.
and others. We're up to 6. I counted the other
Chris
day.
et
Are there any
al.
new cellarmen, though, named Chris? They could be number 7 or 8.
There could be, there's brewers, management, people at the visitor center.
Sales
We have
rep.
Chris Dayton, sales rep. Mm-hmm. So that's like 7, 8 at least.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's a lot of Chris's.
Stop
Lot of
hiring
Chris's.
The
Chris's.
first question in the interview, is your name Chris?
Christian.
Chris or Christian? Yes. Okay, moving on.
But there's also another Christian here, so.
Yes, 2
I was gonna
Christians.
say,
That makes
that's
it
the only
confusing.
distinction of being Chris short for Christian
Yeah.
instead of Christopher,
That's
but
why
not
he's-
even that.
There's no shortcuts.
Yeah, that's
Just
why
moose.
he's Moose.
Just moose.
Mm-hmm.
or
Evil moose.
Chinese beard moose guy or whatever you said
As
earlier.
Natalie drew.
I'm
Yeah,
not
where's
a
that
good-
at?
I'm not a good artist.
There it is.
I didn't see it earlier. What is it? Oh, that's interesting.
Right? It looks...
Interesting
It looks like
is
Christian.
the adjective he came up with.
You know, people generally say that our beers are interesting when they try them. So if I get someone that doesn't drink beer and I get them to try our beer at a liquor store and they say, oh, this is interesting, and I say, well, is it interestingly good or interestingly bad? Because if it's interestingly good, then all right. Or if it's bad, then you're like, okay. But at least they tried something new.
True.
So is that picture interestingly good or interestingly bad?
Good.
Yay!
Good? That was a question.
Good.
It's better than anything I could draw, I'll tell you
It
that.
speaks to the nihilistic
Wait.
utility
I have
of
to
human
point
existence.
out that she's pouring us all full pours, and Christian just got about a half-inch pour of the
Because
pumpkin.
it's pumpkin.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
It's a
excited
very
to try
good
this.
pumpkin beer.
If you watch, mine will be about that same size, and then I will be topping mine off with Old Heathen Imperial Stout to make a black and orange.
Oh, that's right. Don't drink
That's
it
right,
all.
we do have the old heathen right
Also
have
known
all
as
of it.
Aries.
Yes, Aries, which you will find it in in bars. We kegged some of it this year, actually, right?
I think it's all kegged.
All kegged. We didn't, right, well, we kegged some of it last year. I didn't mean to say that we had previously
Yes.
ever bottled it, but we did keg it this year. And
Yep.
how exactly is that made?
Well, we brew Old Heathen and we brew Imperial Pumpkin Ale, and we blend them in a bright beer tank. We run them through the centrifuge first.
I don't know what else.
Because he's being a smart ass. Because, you don't have to say it like that.
Well, we clarify them, blend them in a bright beer tank in a certain proportion.
We use water, we use barley, we use hops. There's yeast involved.
Oh, you don't use any malt, though? Oh, see, if you're going to be a smart ass,
All right.
come on.
Come on. Reinheitsgebot, you know it.
So,
Yeah.
yes, it's blended in the
So-
bright tank. Stop laughing, Dan. As Jen says, don't talk.
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
We got the right blend down, and
Not the first woman to tell me that.
To stop talking, or you got the right blend?
Natalie's got
A little bit of both.
Black and orange.
I need to try that then.
You just go ahead
So
and
this
Can
is
you
only-
pass the black this way, please?
I think this is only the third
you can take the
pumpkin
black
beer I've had this year.
because winter is coming.
Take the black.
winter is coming.
Take the black
Take
stout.
the black stuff. Oh, they just
I want
released
to
it.
take the,
Or-
They
take
just
the
released
sour
La
black.
Horace Mo. I can't say it. La Horace
Valamargulis.
Valamargulis?
Yes, they just released that one.
Didn't we do? I
Wait,
thought
no.
they released that a little while ago. Because didn't you do a news story on that?
We did the story, but they said they were going to
Oh, it
they were
hadn't
release
come out
it
yet.
with the next
Okay,
season.
Gotcha.
Right. Well, the next season's not out. I've
Right.
seen all the shows. I just started the book, so I'm on book 2 now.
How do you have time to read?
I read between. I get home.
She reads
She
while
gets
she's
up at 2
driving.
in
I
the
was going to say,
afternoon.
no, she wakes up
Yeah.
early at noon.
Got all the time in the world.
Maybe she wakes up at 11, reads for 3 hours, and then
No.
goes to work at 2.
I read after I walk,
Wakes up
after
at
I get
11,
home.
goes back
So
to
I
sleep.
read from midnight to 2 a.m. Yes. And then I go to bed at 2.
And sleep for 12 hours and get up at 2 in the afternoon.
You have to. The Game of Thrones books are tiring.
I imagine they are. I haven't read the book.
It's
I watched
good
the
or
show.
it's bad. I mean, the fact that I've read them, so I know who they're talking about, and I can keep up with all the characters. But then it's also like, okay, I know this already happened. When am I going to get to the 4th book, which hasn't been on TV yet? So I'm hoping to just be able to bust through them to get to the 4th book before it airs. So, good and bad. I'm like,
well, the show is
everyone that I'm reading
catch
about
up
dies, anyways. So.
to the books pretty soon.
Yes, George R.R. Martin better hurry up. Right. He grew up in Parsippany, New Jersey.
Which is east of Pennsylvania.
To the east.
It's across the river.
What's the river?
Delaware River.
Really?
Washington.
I'm on the East Bank. I'm on the West Bank.
What's the river by Philly?
Delaware.
Good job.
And Schuylkill.
Oh, would you say what's the river or what's a river? I thought that's what you said. What's a river? Like the concept of a river in general.
What is a river?
It is a body of water. Well, it's a flowing body of water. Yes.
It's a low-tick body of water.
A low-tick?
Low-tick.
What does that mean?
Lentic and low-tick.
What's
Lentic
what?
is... Really?
What?
You don't know this?
No.
I'm very interested.
Not all of us are third-grade teachers.
Lentic and low-tick are terms that
Not all of us are
describe
at a
fresh
third-grade
water.
reading level.
Low-tick is flowing water, and lentic is not flowing water.
I didn't know
like
that.
lentic is like lakes and ponds, and low-tick is like waterfalls and streams and rivers.
Wow.
But oceans are neither.
They are...
Salt water.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't sound vaguely Latin-y.
Jen and I went to school to be teachers.
I was going to point that out.
And
Maddie
then-
wins.
Yeah, she does win.
Well, now you teach people about beer.
Correct.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to say it because then you'll put it in or put it as an outtake. I can't
Oh, come
say
on.
anything
Say
as
it.
long as... No, I was just going to say that drunk people are as bad as young children anyway.
Oh, no, I say that
We
all
said
the
that
time.
in the last episode she was on, and it was in the final episode.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's why I don't listen.
If you hold up a pencil, and say, "All right, class, be quiet," and who's ever the most quiet gets a pencil, and if you hold up a pint glass at the end of a beer dinner and say, "Who's ever the most quiet gets this," it's exactly the same thing.
But how can you be the most quiet? Like, if Wayne and I are sitting here not talking, we're both equally quiet.
No, there's not. Fidgety, sitting, eye contact.
My bodily functions are quieter than yours.
I was going to say noises that you can't control.
Yeah.
You can control most.
Involuntary auditory emissions.
Yes. Or whoever answers the question correctly. When were we founded? Name the 3 bourbon barrel-aged beers that we make. You're looking like you don't even know, so you don't get the pint glass.
Wait, the barrel-aged one? The
Founding
Heresy?
was-
Is Heresy's one, right?
Yes.
Founding was what, 93?
5. 95.
6. 5.
Was it 95?
95. Yes.
I
We're
win the
19
pint
now.
glass.
As the brewer shrugs his shoulders. Sorry.
I had to count back from 19. I'm like, I'm not good at math.
See, no, that's the brewer. He knows. The last anniversary I did was 19. And
Right. And he can tell you everything exactly how he brewed 19 and the lacto for it. But I can tell you that we were
What
founded in
knockout
1995
was.
by Dan Weyerbacher.
The
She
original
does this for a
gravity.
living.
Ask him more questions.
So have you had the black and orange yet?
Oh, did you mix it?
I did.
It's
I already
so
downed
good.
it. It was amazing. It makes me think of hockey.
That's originally
Perfect for
how...
Flyer season.
Yes. Go Flyers.
See,
Sports.
Exactly. There's a
Bees.
lot of us on the
Go
same.
Bees.
No.
Flyers is
No.
actually orange and black.
Ask her what her favorite
Bruins
team
fans
is.
need that
No one
apply.
needs to know what Jen's favorite team is.
It's even worse than my favorite
Go
team.
Pens.
Uh-huh.
So
Bruins
our Philly
fans
rep
need not apply.
No. Our Philly rep actually started the black and orange 4 years ago at this point for preseason hockey, Flyers hockey. And he poured Old Heathen and Imperial Pumpkin on the taps next to each other. And the bartenders would just mix them. And we sold it, he sold it as black and orange for the Flyers. And then it just kind of took
Sports.
off. Yes. And then, he told me about it. And then I started using it in Jersey. And then we brewed it. Then we started putting it in Firkins. And then we brewed it and blended it last year. And then again this year. So it's really just evolved into a nice beer. A nice blend of 2 beers. So.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun mixing your beers. Obviously, the Merry Monks and the pumpkin, the black and orange, tiny and old pumpkin go well
Double
together.
minor.
Double minor, double Simcoe, and the Canis minor, which we'll try later. It just stays on. The black and tan, which is double Simcoe and Old Heathen.
Ooh.
Merry Monks and Blithering Idiot with cherries is good.
That sounds really good. The black and tan. That sounds really good.
Or you can do Last Chance and Old Heathen if you want a bit more dry and bitter. The Simcoe.
Ooh.
More Simcoe,
I do
less
Old Heathen and Simcoe. That's very good.
Yes.
It's almost black IPA-ish.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yes.
And now, how are those mixed?
So you put your hand on the tap handle, you pull it completely forward to you. Make sure the glass is tilted as much as possible. Some say 45. I say as much
45-degree
as
angle.
possible. I say as much as possible.
Don't
And
let the
then
glass
it
at
go.
the tap.
Don't let the glass at the tap. 45-degree angle, as Moose says. Pour half. Stop. Push the tap handle away from you, which closes it. Put your hand on the other tap
At this
handle.
point, put on your safety glasses.
Rinse, wash, repeat.
Yes.
Should we play a game now?
Yes.
I was getting there, but you did it for me. So, Wayne, what do we have?
You know what that sound means. That means it's time for a game. And since I have squeezed all of the sweet, succulent beer trivia juice from the interwebs, and until we can afford to get an intern to do more extensive research for me, I've decided to
Wait, interns are
dispense
free, by the way.
they just need
with the
college
quizzing
credit. That's
and
it.
questions and try a new style of happy fun time game. Well, then why don't we have one?
I don't know. We should get one.
All right. If you're interested in interning for the Beer Busters, please email us at info@beerbusterspodcast.com.
You'll get paid in free beer.
So on today's episode, we debut a brand new diversion that I call What's in My Glass. This is a beer-themed version of those game shows like Password or the $700 million Pyramid or whatever, where one player has to get the other to guess a word or a phrase by giving clues. Only we're doing it with beer names. You'll be playing in teams, Steph and Dan on Team Beer Busters, and Christian and Natalie on Team Weyerbacher.
You mean winning Weyerbacher?
Oh.
Yes, probably. Each of you will have 2 beer names that you'll try to get the other to guess, and you'll have 30 seconds for each one to get them to guess the right answer. Obviously, you can't say any of the words that are in the names or variations thereof. Also, you cannot say the name of the brewery that produces the beer if you know the brewery that makes that particular beer. So... we will also, through the magic of post-production, we will clue our listeners in to the answer before we start each round.
Remind me of that later.
Yeah, so obviously I can't do that now or I would be telling you the answer, but
They're stroking Christian's beard.
We're Team Beard.
Yes.
Team Beard Weyerbacher are going to win.
it's for good luck. Rub the beard for good luck. It should also be noted, I should say...
This is how you rub it.
It should be noted that most of these beers have appeared in previous editions of Libation or Fabrication, which... would seem to give Dan and Steph an unfair advantage.
But we won't remember.
However, since they've demonstrated on multiple occasions that they never remember the answers to any of the games we've played, I think we're on an even playing field. So we are going to start to my left.
Yay! That means we get to go first.
With Dan, and you are, please nobody look at the answer sheet, you are giving clues to Steph to guess the name of this beer. And when I tell you, the timer will start.
Right, hold on. I had a pretzel. I need to watch.
Oh, hold on. Beer comes first. All right, Dan, card number 1.
All right, card number 1.
Get Steph to guess what this is, starting now.
The secret beer is Sick Duck.
All right.
I can see it.
So if you are not healthy, you are
sick.
Okay. This is a kind of bird that
chicken.
No, it doesn't cock-a-doodle-doo. It quacks.
Duck. Sick duck.
Damn.
Yes!
You are
That's
absolutely
a good one.
correct. That is the correct answer for number 1. All right. Now we're going to move over to Christian and Natalie. And Christian, you're going to go first for your team.
That was quick, Christian. We need to.
And if you would take your first beer and try to get Natalie to guess it. And the timer starts now.
The secret beer is Moose Drool.
What's my nickname?
Moose.
Water dribbling out of your mouth.
Spit. Moose spit. Moose juice. Moose dribble.
When you're at
Beetle breakfast.
like a dentist and you're...
Drooling. Moose drool.
Yeah!
Yay, you are absolutely correct. Moose
That's so funny that you gave him moose drool.
That's why I gave him Moose drool.
What is my name? Moose.
All right, now we're gonna
My turn?
we're gonna
Moose
throw it
drool's
over
good,
to
by the way.
Steph. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Good
your
beer.
first
Drooling
beer.
is-
Steph is gonna
Okay.
try and get Dan to answer this
Oh,
one, and
God.
the timer starts now.
The secret beer is Muffin Top.
Blueberry. Banana nut.
Fruit.
Bran.
Fruit.
Eat for breakfast.
Breakfast.
Put in
Beetle
a,
breakfast.
Cereal. Fruity Pebbles.
you bake them in a little dish.
Bacon.
They're
Cupcakes.
Close.
Cake. What? No.
Not a cupcake,
Not
but
a-
breakfast.
Muffin.
Not bottom, but
Top. Top muffin. Muffin top.
yes.
Yes, with 8 seconds to spare. All right. All right, so everybody's gotten everyone so far.
I have a question. Can you say any of the words that are in there?
No.
No.
Okay. Can you say...
If one of them is play, you can't say playing, played, player, any of those sorts of things.
Playa? Playa?
You can't say
playa.
playa.
You can't
Whoa.
spell it either.
I know you can't say sounds like.
No.
Can you say it's like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's pretty
we'll
chill.
figure it
I
out.
guess you're
This is
yelling
Beer
at...
Busters.
I
This
guess-
isn't.
If you hear a
You'll
buzzer,
hear
it means
the
you're wrong.
I don't want to get buzzed.
All right. So Natalie, you are giving clues to Christian to get him to guess your beer, and you are going to start once I get this app on my phone to orient itself correctly.
Yeah, the apple, that wouldn't happen.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
Oh, your time started 5 seconds ago, so you better hurry up.
The secret beer is Old Engine Oil.
Okay. Thick, pours like into a car.
Oil.
Okay, that's the last word. First 2 words is you have a I didn't mean to say that.
You forfeit. You said the word. The answer was Old Engine Oil.
I love that beer.
Oh, what a faux
I don't want to get buzzed.
What a faux pas.
I was like, it pours like an old Model T, and then I said old, and it's...
I think that's our hashtag for today. I don't want to get buzzed.
Hashtag I don't want to get buzzed.
I'm sorry, Moose.
Ay.
That was a good one. That was an easy one.
Moving on to Dan, your second beer to try and get Steph to guess.
I'm sorry.
And your time starts now.
The secret beer is Scary Jesus Rockstar.
Okay, so
Oh dear.
oh god.
By
Okay.
his reaction, I can only imagine.
So, Halloween season, you go to a lot of things that are. It's an adjective.
Spooky. Haunted.
No, keep going.
Scary.
Yes. All right. Second word is he's the guy Christianity likes.
Jesus?
Yep. And I'm gonna. So those are the first 2 words, and then you have
Hurry! We're done!
Steven Tyler.
Aerosmith.
No.
Time
Lips.
is
Baby
up.
Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus! No.
Scary Jesus Rockstar.
Oh.
An APA from Dark Horse Brewing.
You
in
gave us
Marshall,
a
Michigan.
hard one.
I did give you a hard one. So that's
least we're tied now.
That's 2 incorrect answers, and
Since
now
I
we go
messed
back
up.
to Christian, your second beer to try to get
Don't
Natalie to
mess
guess. And your time starts now.
The secret beer is Farmer's Tan.
Somebody who grows vegetables.
A farmer.
Okay.
Farmer's hand.
When you
Yay,
get
she
Farmer's
got it.
hand.
Oh,
She
wow,
said
you
it.
got it. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
It's from Southern Tier.
Yep.
Yes, Farmer's Tan from Southern Tier. That
Very good.
is correct. So
Soon as
now
you
we go
went
back.
There, and I was like, that's farmer's tan. He put his arm like on his sleeve where the tan would be. It has to be a farmer's tan.
All right, now we're back over to Steph, and the score is tied at 2 points apiece. You've each got 2 right. You've each gotten 2
2 points apiece.
wrong.
I thought I heard that.
2 points apiece, 7 points a plum. Steph, it is your turn to get Dan to guess your beer, starting right about now.
The secret beer is Irish Death.
You're not Scottish, you're...
Irish?
Yes, first word. Second word, not living, but...
Dead? Irish dead? Dead Irish. Walking Dead Irish?
That's a good show.
It was a very sad...
Day?
No.
Event? Funeral? Wake? Wake? Irish dead
I
guy.
don't-
Dead guy, rogue's dead guy.
Irish...
Irish walking dead zombie.
A different name for dead.
Deader?
With a suffix at the end.
Time is up.
I didn't know what I was
You
allowed to
should have said
say.
the noun form.
Oh, the noun form of dead. Well, dead is...
Die?
Adjective.
That is an adjective.
Yeah. And
The noun is
Irish corpse? Irish death.
Irish death.
What is it?
Wrong.
Irish death.
Who
Irish
makes that?
death.
Who
It's
brews that?
American Brown Ale by Oakshire Brewing in Eugene, Oregon. Irish death. And now our final beer
If I get
Christian.
this, we win?
for the win.
Once he gets the word, I can say the
FTW.
word, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Once he gets the word, you can say the word. Sure, fair enough. We just made that rule up.
Well, no, because she
now it
said not
applies.
I
dead.
did.
Right.
She
Yeah.
did,
Okay.
and I let her do it. So now you can do it too. I guess.
Well, we
Sure.
didn't get it, so it
Why
doesn't
not?
matter.
For the win, tied at 2 points apiece, and this is our last beer. Natalie getting Christian to guess, starting right now.
The secret beer is Unicorn Killer.
Okay. It has a single horn.
Unicorn.
Yes. And if you shoot it, you're a...
Hunter. Unicorn
another name
hunter.
for a hunter. If, you're going out and murdering something, so you're a...
Killer. Unicorn killer.
Yes.
Absolutely correct. Unicorn Killer. Unicorn Killer is a pumpkin ale by Greenbush Brewing Company in Sawyer, Michigan.
Horrible name.
And
Majestic.
another beer that I almost included in this game but didn't was Blood of the Unicorn. I don't know what the thing is against unicorns, but there's a
Oh
lot of
my goodness.
anti-unicorn beers out there.
We're going to brew a unicorn lover beer.
You should.
Yes.
And then probably get a cease and desist.
Probably. So at 3 points to 2, it looks like Team Weyerbacher is surprisingly our winners today.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Which only goes to show because every one of these beers except Farmer's Tan has been on a previous game that we've played.
Well, it's a little more difficult when you can't just say the word, but that was fun.
I'm just saying.
That was good.
We can do that.
You
game
might as well
again.
go back to questions that aren't multiple choice then.
That's
for
true.
your other
That's
games.
True. So,
No,
congratulations
keep this game. This is fun.
to Team Weyerbacher. Pomp and circumstance. Round of applause. All right.
Unicorns
Dan
flying by.
let me use the soundboard for this game, and now I just want to push all the buttons, but I'll stop.
I'm actually surprised you didn't. All right. So now that I lost another game, let's learn something.
Your beer.
No. Know your beers. So you want to be a brewer. The beer industry is expanding each day, increasing the demand for brewers. Many home brewers are looking to go pro, or current brewers are looking to expand their knowledge, and they're starting to attend beer school. Let's call this episode segment of Know Your Beers, Know Your Beer Education. So where can I get beer educated? The American Brewers Guild.
iTunes at Beer Busters Podcast.
I mean real beer education.
Oh.
The American Brewers Guild is located in Middlebury, Vermont, and it offers various programs which include distance learning and full residential programs. Both Christian and I are graduates of the ABG. Yay. They offer the Intensive Brewing Science and Engineering program, which is 23 weeks of intensive, comprehensive, and pragmatic brewing science and engineering, including brewery and laboratory experience in ABG's commercial brewery, Drop-In Brewing. The Craft Brewers Apprenticeship Program is a 28-week-long program that includes hands-on experience at a guild-approved working brewery. For working brewers, the Intensive Brewing Science and Engineering program is a 22-week program of entirely distance education. Science! The prerequisite for admission into the programs includes successful completion of at least one college-level math course and one college-level science course in physics, chemistry, engineering, algebra, pre-calc, or one of the biological sciences. Currently, ABG is accepting applications.
Hey, baby, you want to study biological science?
For June of 2016.
Let's see if we have chemistry.
The Siebel Institute of Technology and World Brewing Academy in Chicago, Illinois, offers the World Brewing Academy Master's Brewer Program. It's a combination of their 8-week Advanced Applied Brewing Technique course and their flagship 12-week International Diploma and Brewing Technology program, which includes weeks of hands-on brewing, packaging, lab work, and other activities common to the breweries around the globe. There's currently a wait list for this program as well. Siebel also offers other programs, including the WBA International Diploma in Brewing Technology program and the Master of Beer Styles and Evaluation program. UC Davis Extension, which is part of the University of California in Davis, California, has undergrad degrees in fermentation. They've been doing this since 1958. In 1991, they created the technical training programs for brewers through U.S. Davis Extension. They have the Intensive Brewing Science for Practical Brewing, a 5-day course, Professional Brewer Certificate Program, a 10-week program, and the Master's Brewing Program, a unique 18-week program that provides an in-depth understanding of brewing science and brewery engineering, preparing candidates for the Institute of Brewing and Distilling London Diploma in Brewing examination. Also, the Masters Brewers Association of the Americas in St. Paul, Minnesota offers training courses. Central Washington University has a craft beer trade certificate program, 30 weeks. This one's located in Washington. Oregon State University has the Brewing and Analytics course series and beer proficiency testing and sensory analysis courses. And if you want something a little less intense, you can do the Beer Judge Certification Program, the Craft Beer University, craftbeer.com's Beer 101 courses, or, of course, there's the Cicerone Craft Beer Server Programs, greatbrewers.com, the Master Brewers Association of the Americas Associate Beer Steward Program, and World Class Beer, Beer U. So if you want to get a little more beer educated, check one of those programs out.
Give me a fucking beer! All right, what are we drinking next?
Sorry, I got pretzels in my mouth.
Oh. Well, you brewed it, so I'll let you go. This is one of our Brewer Select series. It's Canis Minor, which is a 6.9% Saison. Christian?
It is brewed with French and Belgian Saison strains.
It's so good. Sorry. This is the first time I've had it.
So you get a combination of all the positive flavor attributes of both of those yeasts, and finishes very dry.
Super grapefruity and citrusy. I freaking love it.
It's really good.
It's so good.
It is really good.
A little sage, herbal sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, grapefruit.
Slightly
definitely,
herbal.
Since the last time I had it. Mm-hmm.
So this is part of the. Is this part of the Constellation?
Correct.
Series?
This is
Yes.
another C constellation in our Constellation Brewer Select series.
A very interesting constellation, I must say.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does
2 dots with a
With
line
a line
between them.
between them.
You couldn't have skipped this one? No.
Well, we skipped Cancer. We didn't use Cancer. So we didn't use that as a name for a Brewer Select. We had
Very good call.
Camelopard.
Camelopardallis.
Camelopardus.
We tasted
Camelopardus.
that as
We did taste that.
Humeville.
I did. I got yelled at by my dad by not knowing how to pronounce our beers. So and I said, I was joking, Father. So now I know how to pronounce them all. Next is Cassiopeia. And then we have... Oh, there's one more C. Well, we just had Canes Venetici before this.
Canis Venetici.
Canis Venetici. No, it was C-A-N-E-S. This is C-A-N-I-S.
Yeah, I think they're pronounced the same, though.
You should pick a series of beer
Or
with
Canis.
easier to pronounce.
I think
names.
it's Canis.
Our boss, my boss, Bob Fateau, would love you if he heard you say that. He's like, I can't say these names. Well, they don't fit on the tap handle stickers
like
because they're tap handle stickers.
Stars Part 1.
Beer 1, beer 2, beer 3.
Wait, no. You
Tropes
get
and
a
scratch
cease
backs.
and desist letter for that.
Of course we would. So then, next is Cassiopeia, and then I think we're finally out of the C constellations. Sorry, I'll lean forward. And then we go, I don't know if there are any D constellations.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'd have to look at the list. I have the list somewhere. There's 44 Northern Hemisphere constellations.
Internet, here we come.
Yes.
There you go.
Find out what Canis Minor actually is.
Wait, am I...
But this is the most recent one. It just got shipped out to bars in New Jersey last week. It's been on at the Visitor Center and is still on, if you're interested in it, in bottles and draft at the Visitor Center for the past few weeks at this point, maybe a month or so, and we still have plenty of it. So come on down and try it. We're open 7 days a week, Monday to Saturday, noon to 7, Sundays, noon to 5, free beers, free tours.
It means lesser dog.
Oh, duh. I knew that. So there was the big dog and the small dog, Canis Minor and
Like the
Canis.
bears.
Well, I thought it was Canis Minor and Canis Major, but
Yep.
we didn't do the major. We just did the Canis Venetici, which I guess isn't a dog. Maybe we took it out because they're too similar. Oh, no, Corona Borealis is after Cassiopeia. And then we go on to the Ds. So we do have Corona Borealis. So we'll have to do some sort of lime beer, Moose.
There are some
Do
Ds.
like a lime tart nouveau.
There are 3 Ds.
Delphinus, Delphinus, whatever, Dorado, and Draco.
Oh, no.
Draco's a dragon.
Are these
right?
all
Yeah.
just Northern Hemisphere?
Ooh, I like that one.
So is the plan to do all the Northern Hemisphere
44
constellations?
Northern
It's the worst
Hemisphere.
looking dragon I've ever seen.
Draco?
Yeah.
Is that from Game of Thrones?
No, it's from the
That's
sky.
Draco.
That is Draco. There was a Draco, wasn't there?
Goddamn, just
And there was
give
a
me a big
Rhaego and a Rhaegon. In
Yeah.
the
There's also Smog.
Smog.
isn't that fog? Like kind
Smog
of like
was-
hazy.
No,
Desolated.
SMAUG from The Hobbit.
He was
I thought you
desolated
said
dragon.
SMOG.
No. Draco,
Looks like there's a
Dracula.
Cephas, then a Crater,
Tomato.
Sanguinus, Capricornus. Maybe we do have a lot more seeds before we get to D's. All right then. So, anyways,
We can't make them all.
so you like this one? We can't. We can't make it.
So
This
good.
is really good. I do.
So good.
Despite the lackluster constellation it's named after, the beer is
The
fantastic.
line.
Yes, the line, also known as the small dog.
Well, the beer is definitely better than the Constellation.
I agree.
Thank you.
It's delicious.
It gets you from point A to point B.
Oh,
Hey! Look at that.
And
For the win.
Who's the
and that was
marketing?
the brewer.
For the win.
I'm using that now. You see those 2 little dots in that line on there? Point A, point B. This beer will get you there.
Trademark.
All right. Next is
Next.
one of our newest beers out. Well, it's actually not out yet. It's just something we've brewed.
Sneak preview, what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sneak preview for maybe it's another sneak preview. We just kind of keep.
It's out.
Well, it's out, but
See,
we get very
every
small
now and then.
every now and
Every
then.
now and then.
When you guys brew this, how many barrels do you brew at a time of it? This is Tart Nouveau. that
Tart
we're trying next.
Nouveau can be 20 barrels, can be 40 barrels.
Okay, so we're doing smaller amounts of it, and it is a
It'll probably be 40 barrels from now on.
okay. It's a 3.9% sour session ale.
And it's only draft right now.
currently only
Sour.
draft.
Currently, yes.
Yes. Well, I like to say tart session ale, but our correct terminology is sour session ale. But it's more tart. You're not on tart.
No, I just poured it.
No, you didn't.
that was-
Those are both tart.
Oh, then what'd you hand me?
Constellation.
The same thing we just had.
Little dog. So Tart Nouveau is just a small batch release. Was the first one that we brewed without the wheat, so it wasn't the Berliner, was for Philly Beer Week, and then we've done subsequent batches of it to play around with it in the bug jug.
We've done several batches.
Okay.
We have some yeast propagation tanks that we use to kettle sour this beer.
Okay. And what does that mean exactly?
Basically, we will brew the beer without boiling it, take it down to a temperature which is acceptable for the lactobacillus and Brettanomyces that is part of our culture. Mm-hmm. And then we will keep it at that temperature and for about 3 days, usually over the weekend.
Bugs.
And it sours significantly over the weekend, and then we boil it, which makes it safe for our 12-ounce filler, our kegging line, safe, bar owners don't have to worry about introducing, if they don't want to, having sour beers in their draft lines. So it's boiled, it's,
And that's really nice. I mean, because a lot of bar owners are worried about that. And just in general, when we use our 12-ounce line, running things through that. So the fact that we kill the bugs that are in there and the lacto bacteria just makes
and
it
the
easier to
acidity
work
is still
with.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Definitely.
pleasant.
Yes.
Contributes what it's going to contribute, and then it's
And then it's
away
done.
with you.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to like when you're dealing with.
And we do pH readings during the entire process, gravity readings. So we measure all that.
It is very tart.
Mm-hmm. But not on the sour side. No.
It's more on the it's more tart than sour.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely call it more tart than sour.
It won't give you heartburn drinking a couple of these.
It'll give you tart burn.
Really?
That was good.
Facepalm.
Dan, I want to hear what you think, because I know you love sour beers.
I'll be honest, I'm coming around on them, and I like this one. But for me, it's got like a... First reaction is it reminds me of apple cider vinegar on the back end, which isn't a bad thing, because that, in the right light, could be good. I like this.
Okay.
I see you're like grimacing. There we go. Now you're grinning, which is good.
It's a very fake grin right there.
You get the tartness that you love, but it's so drinkable for a sour beer. Like most sour beers, you kind of got to sip and enjoy and make love to them. But this, you can slam
what?
this.
I'm going to take a moment.
So if you want to hear everything we just said, you can subscribe to our newsletter at beerbusterspodcast.com.
All 15 seconds of it.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty more.
The least it's only 3.9. We've kind of kept it, pretty low tonight. 5.4, 7.7, 8, 6.9, 3.9, and then going to a 5.6.
For Weyerbacher, that's
very low
sessionable.
lineup.
Yeah.
Jen, go get us quads.
Do it.
I'm too sober to drive you home.
You're driving.
Don't do it. Just give them more Tart Nouveau.
Yes.
I'm
right
not
here.
driving.
Right. And what's interesting about it is there's no fruit backbone. A lot of sours are paired with fruit or oak, any sort of wood, liquor, something like that to add or complement the flavor. This one is just pale malt, rice, touch of rice in there,
Yes.
and then kettle soured.
There might be wheat in there too. I don't
No,
know.
there's no wheat. Just
We
one
make
lettuce.
so many beers. I can't remember.
There's no
them.
wheat in this because it's not a Berliner Weiss. There's no wheat. Unless there's, don't tell me there's 10% wheat.
That information
I don't
was
think
not
so.
on the description on the website, so
There is no wheat in it. I've been very adamant about them taking Berliner Weiss style like beer off because people just call it a Berliner, and it's not a Berliner because the majority of the malt grains, or even a large portion of the minority of the malt grains, are not wheat. So it's not a Berliner. It's a sour session ale. Very adamant about that fact, if you ask Jess.
What she said.
Yes. I get it, and he's like, I love your Berliner. I'm like, it's not a Berliner. It's a sour
It's an
session
Eastoner.
ale. An Eastoner. That's a good name for it, Moose.
Wow.
He's full of them.
He is. Point A to point B.
I know, right?
Eastoner.
You should be in
It's been
marketing.
on Eastoner.
Wow, come on over.
You should be in marketing. You could sleep in till 2 in the afternoon.
I know, right?
You don't have to clean
You don't have to lift
anything.
grain
Wow.
bags.
Very true.
No cleaning.
Wow. Ich bin ein Eastoner.
No, it's really
we still
nice.
have
And I
another
think
pint
we're gonna
glass
do-
here.
We do have another pint glass. I think talking to a couple of the brewers, too, they are interested to see it with maybe some fruit added for one-off styles of the Tart Nouveau, even though it's
That's
still
possible,
kind
yeah.
of a one-off, right? You guys have talked about that with after the bill's been passed, that it's not
It was
100.
a drop. Okay, it was a drop. Too.
That it's not
That's like
115
7
today,
drops.
115 day turnaround for the recipes anymore for the TTB. It's a shorter time frame, so we're able to get things.
Oh, it's a
approved
lot
with-
quicker. A lot of
with
times
fruit or
for
spice.
stuff we want to do, they relax their rules so you can add fruit and barrel age, and you don't even have to file a new formula recipe.
That's excellent. That saves us a lot of time as a brewery and allows us to do more,
Especially with
creative things.
firkins and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We used to have double Simcoe with mango. That had to be a specific TTB submission.
Right.
Now we can just submit it,
Mhm.
and or we don't even have to submit it.
Right, and it just goes through, and we can brew it as opposed to waiting.
They have a list of common ingredients where you don't need to file special, formulations.
That's good, and that was something
Yeah.
the Brewers Association was working on for a long time, trying to get that
Yeah,
approved.
they do a lot of
knowing
good
it was
work,
hard.
so.
Yes.
Is she trying to get Dan drunk?
There's beer that wound up in front of me.
It's a pint glass of Guess the Beer. You may smell it, you may not taste it. And you can look at the color.
I'm gonna guess it's the quad because that's what she was sent to get.
Ding, ding, ding! Winner button.
Do not drink all of that.
Winner button.
You will not make it home.
You heard me say that? Go get the quad.
Yeah. Headphones.
Wait, we have to taste the winter first.
This is true.
We do have to taste the winter. This was
Here.
just because we weren't
Open
drinking
it.
high enough alcohol beer. This is Weyerbacher. Go big or go home. I mean, you have to go
Can I-
home at some
can I
point.
do
Go big,
both?
then go home.
Okay.
So now we're drinking the winter ale.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. And you're being passed a
Oh,
beer.
I already had mine.
No, this is winter.
This is the winter ale.
Oh.
That's the
Keep
quad.
up, Dan.
Pay attention.
You know what? Just go home.
If I go home, the equipment goes with me. The rest of this episode doesn't happen.
I have a new iPhone 6, which you don't, so I can record it on my iPhone.
Wow.
And then we'll use our own sound bites.
Yeah.
Don't cut my mic
I
out.
think you can
Is
like
my
shoot
mic cut out?
like full length movies on there.
Shut the hell up!
Wow, I don't think you've ever gotten to use that one before.
First time for everything.
There is.
You
Are
could have
you
just
happy
said,
now?
"Stop talking."
So how about this winter ale?
So this is Winter Ale. It is a 5.6% brown ale. Moose?
It's yummy.
It is yummy. It's very malty. If you look at the color, it's a very dark brown. We use pale malt, a little bit of chocolate malt. You'll notice a little chocolate malt in the aftertaste. Not a whole lot, but just a little something.
Would you say this is a traditional style English brown ale or an American style?
I would say this is more of an English style because...
Yes, I get that.
What's your favorite sound?
Yeah. That's my favorite sound.
Turning into sweaty balls.
After you have a nice beer, like... yeah, that's good.
I like that. That's what this beer makes me want to do.
Yeah.
5.6. Not that I don't mind the higher alcohol beers, but
And you can drink like 10 of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes me happy. And then I
It
can,
does- it
yes, I'm
does
still
taste-
standing.
It has poundability factor.
It does.
And it tastes like it would be a little higher, I think.
It does. I think
Yeah.
the flavors from the malt, the chocolate, the roastiness, maltiness from the beer,
Yep.
really adds a lot more of that flavor. And you're like, okay, and it being Weyerbacher, sure, 6 or 7, I could easily see that, but it's not. It's only 5, 6. And
it
it's
does-
no spices, even though it's our winter ale. A lot of people spice all of their Christmas and winter beers. We do not because we already make the pumpkin, which has a lot of spices. So this is just
Enough with the spices.
no
I think
mas.
that's what I like most about this.
Mhm.
Is it's just a really good, warming, malty beer
Yeah.
without all the fluff.
And you do get that little bitter chocolate taste in the aftertaste, but it's just a tiny little bit. It's very nice.
Thank you. It's been doing really well for us. The Autumn Fest and the Winter Ale have both picked up significantly for us in the sales side. So,
And
Very
if you
lot
look
of it.
at the current BJCP style guidelines, you look at category 21B Christmas Winter Specialties, you will find Weyerbacher Winter Ale on there. as
Oh, snap.
as a classic example of the style.
Wow, very
snap.
nice.
And it's unspiced.
Very nice.
Wow. So it's listing it as a style in the holiday
The
Christmas.
Christmas spice beer category.
and it's unspiced. Look at that. Go Weyerbacher. This is one of our winter
Category 21B.
21B. So this will be released in October.
Or Christmas
Winter.
winter. Sorry, not
Christmas
spice.
winter.
Christmas/winter. Which it can be spiced, but ours is not.
Excellent. We also release Quad. So we've tasted our 2 fall seasonals, Autumn Fest and Pumpkin.
Which is also a
and then
classic
winter.
example of a style.
Is it really? We're kicking butt in the
Wow.
BJCP. You're a BJCP certified judge, aren't you?
I am a certified beer judge on the BJCP.
Excellent.
So now we have an unscheduled edition. We have the Quad. Thanks to Jen for going to grab the Quad. So, if the two people from Weyerbacher were paying attention to us right
Passing
now,
notes.
are you
Passing notes in class.
They folded
We're
them
old
and
school
everything.
texting.
So, old school text.
Wow.
So, what is this Quad? What defines the Quad?
So Quad is a Belgian quadruple. It was actually one of the first Belgian quads produced in the United States. We meddled with it in the late 1990s. It's an 11.8% Belgian quad using our house Belgian yeast strain that we also bourbon barrel aged to make Blasphemy, which you can find on the shelves in 750 cork and cages. Quad comes out in November, so it's one of our winter seasonals. The one that you're drinking now has been aged for a year, so we actually have the first batch of this year's Quad in the fermenters as we're drinking last year's Quad. Yes.
This is amazing.
It is. It's absolutely delicious. One of our beers that you can age forever and ever. I've had 6-year-old versions of it. I've had 11-year-old versions of the Blithering Idiot, but I haven't had any quads that have made it that long yet.
I have 3-year-old quad case of it in my house.
Ooh.
It's very good.
So, Moose.
Address.
Party time.
Absolutely phenomenal slipper.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Great example of the style.
Yes, very much so.
According to BJCP.
Yes.
We don't enter this in GABF anymore.
You don't have to.
It's a shame.
It's part of the
We should.
style guidelines now.
Very
It
true.
would be illegal to enter it.
What's weird is it's in Belgian specialty ale, but it is not part of...
Quad have its own section, or is it under strong, Belgian dark strong?
I think a Belgian quadruple would be under Belgian dark strong ale.
Okay. And
But-
then the difference between a Belgian golden strong and a Belgian triple is what exactly?
It's very fine. Very fine. There is a new revision of the BJCP coming out. I don't know
I
how
think
they're...
didn't one just come out?
Less spice, more of the candy sugar flavor? Would be triple would be more spice and aroma. The
Maybe a little bit.
golden would be less
But
of
it's
that.
also... They're one of the very few categories. They're so close together. I mean, you could theoretically enter both beers in both categories and probably win gold if it was good enough in both categories.
So now the question that's in front of us is, what are the favorites?
The Saison.
Ooh.
I loved it.
No surprise there.
Yeah.
That was all of the other beers I've had before, and I love them all. But that one was a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting to have that reaction when I first had it. It's delicious.
Excellent. Go have it on tap at your local bar now.
Yes.
Yep.
I would have to actually agree. I think the Saison. I think a close second, surprisingly, not that it's not good, but the Tarte Nouveau.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so good.
Just because I'm usually a big ABV guy, and that's so low, but I really like that. It was really good flavor. But definitely the Saison was spectacular.
So, Wayne, gun to your head.
Gun to my head, Saison.
Saison. Okay.
Yeah. Stop putting guns to... I'm going to call the police one of these days.
All right, Dan. Gun to your head.
Gun to my head. Quad. I'm going to go quad.
No Munkin?
Munkin was good. Munkin was great.
genius.
The black and orange was good, too. Orange and black, black and orange. Black and orange.
It's black and orange. Though
Aries.
the Flyers, the Flyers nickname is orange and black. So however you want to say it, we won't yell at you.
Maybe orange is the new black.
Oh, hashtag Netflix.
Trademark
Hashtag
infringement.
crazy eyes.
Please
Yes.
not another cease and desist. Hashtag cease and desist. Hashtag we fail. Again.
Hashtag I don't have any money to sue for.
If you don't get a cease and desist, you're not doing it right.
So I want to know what Jen's favorite beer was.
Oh, man, put me on the spot. I've never met a Weyerbacher beer that I did not like.
Amen, sister.
And even beers I've never tried before, like even the stouts. Love them all.
But
The
tonight,
quad.
what's the one you're feeling tonight?
I really like the Mumpkin.
What's the Mumpkin?
And that's the Merry Monks and the Imperial Pumpkin.
Yay!
Love the quad. Of course, the Saison. I don't say it right.
Oh, Cannabis
Saison.
Minor.
Yes.
Canis Minor.
Canis Minor.
Cannabis Minor.
The Cannabis Minor.
Cannabis Minor.
I'm making my dad listen to this and saying, this is where my bad influences come from.
Sure, blame Shooty.
She made me smoke drugs.
She made me take pot.
I took pot. I took pot. Did you snort it or shoot it up?
Although I'm a Penguins
I think
fan, I
that's the
did enjoy the
implication.
black and orange.
Woo!
Yay.
Because I felt like I should have been
Sports.
sitting in a ice rink watching
Sports.
hockey while I was drinking.
Black and orange also refers to the fall seasonal colors, Halloween colors. You can call it a jack-o'-lantern, a black-o'-lantern.
So, Christian, what was your favorite beer we had tonight?
Pumpkin. Definitely pumpkin.
Shaft.
Probably. I haven't had quad in a good long while. I really enjoyed that beer. Oh, hey, look who we got here, just finishing up their shift.
Zane,
Wow.
trusty brewer, brewing on a Friday
Zane
night till
Miller.
9:30.
Woo!
Do you want to say hello?
Do I have to talk in the mic?
Yes. You have
Yeah.
to tell us what you just brewed.
Bring it on in.
Who am I speaking to? The audience?
World.
The internet.
The interwebs.
Hello, internet world. Yeah, just finished up brewing verboten.
Which means we've all had a lot more beer to drink tonight than you have.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I've got some catching up to do.
I was going to say, get started.
Yeah. Drinking Tart Nouveau here.
Ah, very
Very
nice.
good. Very good.
It's nice.
You're not going to catch up with that one, though.
No, unfortunate. Yeah, this is like the lowest ABV offering I think we have on tap out there. So.
I'm actually surprised at how low that is.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly low. It's very good.
Yeah, definitely. Thirst quenching. I think it still has the bold Weyerbacher character, just the low ABV.
Just without the alcohol to go with it, yeah.
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 I enjoy it. It's a nice post-work beer.
Yeah.
And you can still drive home.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how long have you been with Weyerbacher?
Since March. Started St. Patty's Day, actually.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where were you coming from?
I was working at a small brew pub in the York area, town called Hanover, if you're familiar with Oats Potato Chips.
Oats.
Or, yeah. It's Warehouse Gourmet.
Hey, there is a blog post on beerbusterspodcast.com about that place, by the way.
Awesome. Great food.
Google it.
Up and coming brew setup as well. It was a restaurant first, and definitely their food proves that. Yeah, I was there for about 8 months.
What's your favorite Weyerbacher beer?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I don't know. I really enjoyed the Mosebach, the Brewers Select.
Canis Venetici.
Yeah. It was interesting, unique for this brewery, and I think it was a well-made lager. Kind of a nice change of pace, I guess. Something I keep falling back to is definitely the Double Simcoe.
That is one of my favorites. That's a really good one.
Yeah, it's probably the first Weyerbacher beer that I had tasted, and it's still, I don't know, has a nostalgic effect, I guess, every time I taste it. Blithering Idiot's probably another one of my favorite, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to the barrel season. I can't personally say I've had any of the barrel beers besides Reserva.
Wait, you haven't had Sour Black?
No.
You need to go to Christian's house right now.
Let's all go to Christian's house.
After party.
Sauerkraut.
It's so good. Sauerkraut
Sauerkraut
and
and Sour Black.
Excellent.
That sounds like a party.
Excellent.
And 3-year-old idiot.
Children.
Insanity squad.
In the basement.
Somebody else's.
And 3-year-old children. hid in the
Callback
basement.
that we didn't need. Thank you.
I don't know whether to be impressed with this guy's beer cellar or to just call him a hoarder from the more and more I hear about what he's got stored away somewhere.
I store it off-site.
Yeah, fair enough.
Smart man.
Temperature controlled.
He's a collector.
Because if it was here, Natalie would get it.
Yeah. Do you guys have any events or anything coming up that you guys want to plug?
Well, you can always find all of our websites on Weyerbacher. All of our websites. All of our events on Weyerbacher.com. You can also go to our Facebook, which is Weyerbacher Brewing Company. We have a Twitter at Weyerbacher, and an Instagram is at Weyerbacher_brewing, or just hashtag Weyerbacher, hashtag follow the Jester, hashtag double down, hashtag double Simcoe, hashtag I'm sick of these.
Just in case, though, if anybody doesn't know, it's WEYERBACHER.
Yes, and if you feel like you spelled it wrong, add 2 more E's and 2 more R's, and you should be good.
Weyerbacher.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of events coming up in New Jersey. We have a lot of liquor store samplings because it's the fall season and we have a lot of pumpkin to sell. We have a couple really interesting events over at 90 Acres, which is owned by Richard Branson. It's in Peapack, Gladstone, New Jersey. There's an Oktoberfest coming up there on Saturday, October 4th.
Isn't he the Virgin guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He owns that.
Okay.
It's 90 acres
Ecstatic
of
billionaire.
land and yes, restaurant, really delicious food. So they're going to have a bunch of food
Really
for
good
you,
airline.
German style food, and a lot of great beer. And
I
we'll have
agree.
4 beers from Weyerbacher there. That same day down south in South New Jersey in Glassboro, there's a craft beer festival. Again, lots of other liquor stores that you can check out. Saturday, October 11th, there is a big brew festival at the Morristown Armory. Same day, Saturday and Sunday, there's an Allentown Harvest Festival in Allentown, New Jersey. Let's pick out something really fun.
Not
And then-
Allentown, PA.
Correct.
Allentown, New Jersey?
There is an Allentown, New
Yep.
Jersey.
Wow.
It's in South Jersey in, I believe, Burlington County.
Yeah.
By Six Flags, right?
Yes,
More
it is
flags, more
correct, by
fun.
Six Flags. Right off of 195. The Newark Museum in Newark, New Jersey always does an evening of hot, chili, and cool brew on October 23rd. And then October 25th is the Central Jersey Beer Fest at Blend Bar and Bistro in Hamilton, New Jersey. So, again, a lot of beer fests and events coming up in the fall. And then we have some beer dinners spattered in, but we don't have the... I know, use that word again. Splattered in? What is the word that you would use?
I was just going to go with it, but then
Smattering?
you called yourself out on it.
No, Jen called me out.
Smattering.
Smattering. We have a smattering of beer dinners. We don't have menus yet for them, so I don't like to post them without the menus. We have actually some in-house liquor store beer dinners coming up. So what they're doing is they're turning their warehouses into kind of little pop-up restaurants and having a food truck cater it with beer. So it's kind of the new trend. Smattering. Hell yeah. So it's kind of the new trend that's popping up now. You can sign up for our mailing list on our website, which we should have a new website popping up in the next month or so. So check that out. Or just look out for our events on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything like that. So we appreciate you guys listening in, coming out to the brewery and drinking it. I said 7 days a week. Come on
That's
out.
right. Follow
7 days a week.
You can follow
Free
Weyerbacher
beer.
on Twitter at Weyerbacher. You can follow Natalie on Weyerbacher
At Weyerbacher Nat.
You can follow Natalie on Twitter at Weyerbacher Nat, and you can follow Christian at C Mosebach.
Don't forget to follow us at Beerbusters.
Yes. Or you can search Facebook for Weyerbacher.
Or search Facebook for Beer Busters.
Podcast. Thank
I was
you.
getting there.
Google.
Sad to be sure. I mean, you sales reps that only wake up at 2
Or
o'clock.
you-
I don't know
you
if
could-
you're still awake yet.
You could go to Bing.
So, Natalie, Christian, thank you guys so much for having us out here.
Thank you for coming out.
To say it was a blast is an understatement. But this, unfortunately, brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters Podcast. As Wayne air pianos. And it was a guy by the name of Wiley who said, beer may not solve your problems, but neither will water or milk. As always, I am Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and virologist,
Steph Hefner.
and our fermentertainer,
Wayne Baker.
Until next time, my friends, make sure you sign up for the newsletter at beerbusterspodcast.com, and we bid you the fondest of adieux.
Hashtag smattering.
Stop talking.
Hashtag just kidding.
Copyright.
Hashtag looks like it should have D batteries.
Hashtag follow the Jester.